before we get into it, my opinions are my own, not of my real estate shows, not of my real estate companies, not of any entity tied to either, just mine and producer Brian's. All right, Brian, kick us off. Welcome to my real estate show. I am Sandi Lyn, your host. I am CEO of a nationally expanding real estate brokerage. I scaled 7 states in 7 months after just being really tired of the bullshit the industry hoists onto agents. I think that you agents deserve better. I also have 2 different podcasts. One of them is this one, which I guess if you feel alone in your real estate career and you feel like you need a little bit of training, but you don't just want the type of shit where somebody blows dust off a binder and then, gives you stuff that only worked in the 90s or in the 70s or whatever. If you want legit to keep up with the industry, this would be your daily show. I am your companion in real estate. We have guests on. Josh, our co-host, he is out. He is visiting or he's going to a concert with his kids. It is summertime. So that's going to be awesome for them. I am, however, joined by producer Brian, who we served together in the Marines. Brian, say something. So I'm not talking to myself the whole time.
Something.
All right. This was amazing.
Riveting
Okay.
content.
Yeah. So it's really hoist. Did I say hoist ever before
I've
right
never
now?
heard you use that before.
I don't know why. I don't know why I did. Um so for
Now try not to say it the rest of the episode because you're going to be overthinking it.
all right. Well, I'm glad that I'm doing this show right now. It's really funny because before we start the show, it's usually like, hey, what are we going to discuss today? Are there like big news topics? Are there big viral videos that we should look at? And we'll start talking about stuff. Usually we'll be bullshitting like that. And then all of a sudden, we get off on this tangent. We go off on a tangent and I'm like, save it for the show, save it for the show. And then by the time the show starts, I'm like, what were we going to talk about? I don't even know. Um, but I do have a couple of topics that I wanted to share just like personally. Um, some new agents or people getting into real estate or they're like, how do you operate, right? So I think it's important to talk about my day to day. So today in real estate, what I've had happen so far is a veteran messaged me at 5:55 in the morning. I got back to him at like 6 something, I saw it on Facebook Messenger and got back to him, but he was like, "Hey Sandy, I don't know if you remember me, but you helped me when I was going through a situation like a year ago in he was a he was getting foreclosed on and he was on a VA loan, and so I gave him, a bunch of advice. And now how I had gotten hooked up with him, and by the way, he's like now ready to buy a house. So he's like, "Hey, I've been running for a year, tired of throwing my money away. I'm ready to, get back into it. So I would like for you to be my agent." So I want you to know, first of all, if you're talking to potential clients or talking to basically consumers or anybody out there, don't think about it like, "Oh my God, I hope that I get to, close on this person, have a closing within 30 days. I just have conversations where I can provide value and help people." And how he was referred to me was by the local VSO office. So, Veteran Service Organization. I don't know. We just call it the VSO, right, Brian? Do you know what it stands for?
I'm pretty sure it's Veteran Service Organization. I'll check.
Okay. So The VSO is like where you go after serving and you go and get a disability rating or you need, I'm sure there's other services that they offer, but really like we all know VSOs are, we go to them, talk about our aches and pains and how we can get our veteran service officer. Thank you. Disability rating. So anyway, I network with different veteran organizations, and so they happen to, like, think of me whenever there's anybody that they're running into talking about buying a house or whatever, they're gonna send them my way. So that person, he was in, a pickle a year or a year and a half ago, something like that, and now he's in the position for me to actually, you know, do my job. So I just wanted to give you guys that tip. If you're thinking about the right now, um, you're not going to last long in real estate. You have to keep track of these people. Now, if I were really doing my job, I would have kept in better touch with him. Hey, did you find a place to rent? Like, how are things going? But I have to be honest, I don't focus a lot of my time and energy on production. What I focus on are the agents at my brokerage, creating awesome brokerage, 2 podcasts, this one and True Crime and Real Estate. The other podcast is really fun. It's more storytelling format, but it is also agent training, how to not die while you're showing houses, how to stay alive, how to stay out of jail, those types of trainings, except facts tell, stories sell, right? So you remember these crazy stories, and then also some cool real estate crime stories that you just should know about in, Skid Row or Cabrini Green, just really interesting city planning type things. So it's kind of all over the place, but if it fits in true crime and real estate, you can bet your ass I'm probably going to report on it. It's just good training in general. Um, so I wanted to just give you that tip. Now, also, let's talk about networking. Again, how did I become an agent that the VSOs would make sure veterans would get hooked up with? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it wasn't me going into a VSO office and trying to pitch my services or anything like that. I became an agent. I became an agent that was like for the veterans. So you're like so dumb if you don't use Sandy. If you're a veteran, like she knows ins and outs of all the veteran services and how your disability rating can get you this, or who are the best like veteran loan officers to use and what programs do they have, and did you know that you can get an IFA grant for $5,000 that you never have to pay back in the state of Iowa, and just different things like that, right? Because I'm a veteran, I like made it my business to learn all of these amazing things that veterans have access to at their fingertips. Um, and it kind of blew my mind how normal agents didn't really know that much about VA loans or VA services or like anything. And to be honest, it's a lot to keep track of. So I don't have to know all the information. I just have to network with the right people who can get them what they need. I have to be a connector. Let me start off by saying I never wanted the veteran niche. I actually didn't. I tried to fight it tooth and nail. Being a veteran is like something I did. It's not necessarily my identity. Like I don't, you know, like you let a Marine serve for you. Now let a Marine help you buy a house. Like I just hate when people do that shit to their marketing. It's just so cringe, right? So I did not want to be that type of agent, but I kind of fell into it because that became my niche. That was like what I was passionate about. I think it's bullshit. I don't think you should be allowed to have the word veteran in the title of your company. I think it's misleading to veterans who think they have to use your service in order to access a VA loan. Talking to you, United Veteran. So I just think that there are right ways to go about things and wrong ways to go about things. You don't have to like swindle the American public. You just have to provide value and be somebody that people can rely on. I ended up just falling into the veteran niche. Veterans would refer veterans, and then I'd go to like veteran networking events just because I naturally would go to those anyway. I happen to be basically the only agent there. So, of course, I'm going to be, networking in that capacity. But I want to talk to you about niches real quick. Niches get stitches. I wanted to talk to you for a second about niches because it's amazing to me how afraid agents are to come up with a niche because they think that coming up with a niche means that they can't like they can't serve everybody. And that's totally couldn't be further from the truth. To have a niche means that if you're truly owning this niche, everybody knows you're the best at that particular niche. They would be like dumb not to go to you if they needed help with first time home buyers or whatever. Let's say first time home buyers is your niche. Does that mean that you're not going to help somebody who's not a first time home buyer? No. So don't be afraid to come up with a niche just because I'm known for being a very good veteran agent, like agent for veterans, doesn't mean that somebody that's not a veteran is afraid to use me as their agent. So don't be afraid to truly, truly niche down because if you can prove that you're like the best at this, like this is who I am, there are people out there that it's just like, man, if I really care about my dog and this person is like a dog realtor and I know that they're truly whatever house they find me is going to be very dog friendly, right? Think about where you can provide value. There, it doesn't even have to have anything to do with real estate. Like being a veteran has nothing to do with real estate. Dogs have nothing to do with real estate. Staying in shape has nothing to do with real estate. But like if they truly can feel that bond with you, like I said, first time home buyers, that's a huge niche. That's a really good niche. If I were a brand new agent and I wasn't a veteran, I would try to pick up the first time home buyer niche. Why? Because they don't know if I don't know everything because I'm a brand new agent, right? But if I'm trying a luxury niche where they already own several homes, they're probably going to be like, this chick does not fucking know what she's doing. So I think first time home buyers are the way to go if you're trying to think about a certain niche. Damien Swords QC says, I don't really work for the person. The client is the dog. Exactly. And you were exactly who I had in mind when I was talking about like, having like dogs be your niche. He has um lots of pictures with his dogs. He has a dog in his personal logo. Yeah, and then I had that idea yesterday, home dog POV, where you send your dog through the house on a GoPro, and it's like one account is nothing but like home tours from a dog's point of view. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys some tips when it comes to that. Just as my day progresses, these are the things that are going on, and here's how it even blossomed into this. Here's how I got this lead. It's because a year ago, somebody that I networked with previously in a women's veteran thing, sends everybody to me as a result of that. And now a year later, this guy's like ready to buy. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about, speaking of social media, I want to talk about the process. I don't know, I think Gary Vee coined it with document, don't create. It's just amazing how you agents love getting in your own way. You want to make things so perfect with your social media. But really, if you actually just fucking do it, just like I am right now, I am creating content, but I'm basically documenting. I'm talking about my day. This is what I've got going on. But talking about my day, talking about what's up in real estate and what I happen to experience is actually gaining me credibility. So if I would have waited to make a whole beautiful video about this, and I would, make some graphics and make it all perfect, then by the time I'm like exhausted. It's not getting posted. I have all these other ideas for different content, different pieces of content. So, if I could give you guys any advice, especially if you're freaked out about showing up on camera, it'd be to stream live. Just stream live. If you want to pull the live down afterward because you said a bunch of crazy shit like I'm known to do, then pull it down and then clip it or whatever. But at least you start getting fairly used to talking on camera. I'm going to share a secret with you. I would never get used to talking on camera. I'm always like, all right, and we're live. Here we fucking go. What kind of disaster is going to happen today? It's never, I don't know, it's not easy. You notice flaws in yourself or like my voice, I think. Isn't that an inner ear thing? Everybody hates hearing their own voice. So you're never going to be your version of perfect. But have you noticed that the most successful people are the ones just pushing out? They're just pushing out content. They're getting seen. They don't care. They don't care that it's perfect. They know for a fact that done is better than perfect. And that's how you improve. You're like, man, I wish I would have done this last time. I know I'm going to do this next time. And there's still things on producer Brian and I's list to make this show better or make true crime better. And if we go to our, like, let's say the very first episode we ever filmed on this show, it's just me and Josh actually like bullshitting about what should our taglines be when we're, talking about the show. It was nowhere near the production that it is now. It didn't have a theme song. It didn't have any of the other stuff. Does that mean I'm going to completely take down all that content because I'm embarrassed by it? No, it's like fun to have those Easter eggs there, right? You're just going to keep getting better. And I've said this before, but what's the best way to bury the old content that you're ashamed of? That's to create more content. Create more, create more, create more, and bury that shit. Speaking of document, don't create, I just have like, I wrote down a few notes. I'm like, working out. Let's talk about working out. I, for a few good years, I had an amazing thing going where I was working out every single day. I was working out hard. I had my, like, no matter what, first thing I did in the morning, I'd get up, I'd go work out. It was just a non negotiable. And then I started a real estate brokerage and I got really busy and I got a puppy at the very same time. And I was like, start telling myself, okay, well, if I'm walking the puppy around a lot and I'm really busy doing my, real estate brokerage stuff, I just don't have time to work out. And it's like, I never had time to work out before. Like I was producing, I was busy. You have time for what is important to you. You have time for what you make time for. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. So don't ever fucking tell me you don't have time to work out. So I've been getting back into my workouts and something that's helped me. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You will, I mean, never say never. Maybe if I was paid enough money, I would, but you'll never see me doing a 75 hard challenge because it's not realistic to me. I have learned a long time ago that if I wanted to accomplish my goals, that I actually needed to have wins. I actually needed to be able to be put in a position where I could keep my word. So I will never be a vegan. I don't see myself ever being a vegan. I can't stick to that. I can't, there are things that I just know I'm not going to be able to stick to forever. But I could, for today, I can make a commitment where I'm going to drink like 3 extra glasses of water. I can keep my word on that. And then once I have that down, then I add something else. So for me, it's just like, all right, well, I'm just going to close my rings on my watch, right? Whether I'm getting that in through cough, Pokemon Go, cough, the cow is the vegan. That is enough for me. Um, so I am doing things that get my body moving. I actually have been working out. I worked out 4 of the last 5 days. So I decided True Crime Tuesdays are not a day that I plan to work out. That is a very heavy workload for producer Brian and I. Like, we filmed 2 different podcasts that day. It's very exhausting. That's the other weird thing. It's very exhausting for me to be on camera like this. And I was just telling Brian yesterday, like, I think I get it now. I think I get what these actors are saying about how hard they work, but to be honest, it's a performance, and it is draining. It is draining in a way that, I never had. I busted my ass in retail back in the day, and brain drain is something completely different. My point is, do not make promises to yourself or others that you can't keep. People lose their confidence in you, and you will lose your confidence in yourself. Your confidence is directly tied to your ability to keep your word. So, are you able to keep your word that, don't fucking bullshit yourself and say, I'm going to get up at 5 in the morning and then I'm going to work out and then I'm going to do all this other stuff. That'll come later if that becomes one of your goals. Make sure to make promises that you actually can keep. So again, for me right now, it's closing my rings. It's here are the days that I am going to go to the gym, and I didn't commit to a time. So that way, if I am past that time, I'm not like, well, I blew the whole day. No, my time is before I go to bed, my ass was in the gym. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. Wow. Yeah. Whoever that Aristotle guy is sounds pretty smart. I hope he goes viral. Um, but yeah, you are the process that you repeat. You have to create habits, and it's not going to come from you telling yourself because tomorrow's a new day. Like, I guess I'll start tomorrow. That was the cycle that I was in until I said no, for like, no shit. I will be working out. I will be closing my rings. It's like non negotiable in my head because that is something so low level that if I didn't keep my word on that, then I'm like such a fucking turd. So start low level. And then when you experience these wins, you'll crave that feeling and you'll start to want to experience it in other aspects of life. Your budget, like when you experience wins with your budget, when you experience wins with like spending, when you experience wins with just different life goals at work, it's going to carry into your work. Um, so yeah, those are just a few things that I wanted to rant about Rush Limbaugh style. What you got for me, Brian?
The Selling Sunsets story we did yesterday about the cast, we like when we do the rundowns, we basically, feed them through a couple of different, we review them, we do research to look at sources, we'll, plug it into AI to be like, what do you think of this? Just to try and get everything we can to cover. The Selling Sunset story, one of those, AI feedbacks I disagreed with. The basically like the take it suggested was, this is a reality show. It's about real estate, but it's not really for real estate agents because it doesn't help move houses. I was like, I disagree because people watching it aren't just real estate agents. Like there are people watching it that aren't happy with their house. They see something there that they like. It will get them thinking about buying and selling a house just watching that show. The other thing was I came across, Instagram the other day where this post came up. Let me zoom in a bit more here.
Mhm. Senior living communities are hiring real estate professionals as senior transition specialists across all 50 states. That's interesting that they're actually, I wonder, are they paying a commission and that turns into 8 to 15 grand a month? Or is it like a thing where it's like, hey, but why would they like, are they hiring real estate professionals and developing that referral network? Or are they like legit being like how some builders do? Hey, sit your ass in our building right here and you're like our rep. So that's interesting. Based on the no license required, what it tells me, because builders do this, um, you actually don't need a license to be like the rep that sits at the front office and shows them about their specific like properties and like floor plans and layouts and stuff. And so that's what they're calling like real estate professional, right? Um so that's what I'm betting is the same thing for this senior community thing, right? That your job is sales. Because in real estate, our job isn't even really sales, right? I mean, we have to have really good sales skills because we're selling ourselves and we have to overcome objections and all that shit. But we're not selling the house. We're not like, hey, let's take a buyer, for instance. If I take a buyer, I go in this particular house over here, like my fiduciary duty is to the buyer. Like it's not to this house. If even when I list a house, my fiduciary duty is to the sellers, not the house, right? But in those situations, their fiduciary duty is to the people that own that real estate community or that senior living community or the builder that owns like the neighborhood that he's building out or whatever, right? That's their fiduciary duty is to sell those particular units. So, yeah, it's interesting, and you don't need a license to in order to do that apparently, which is weird, but I don't make the law, so
And the last thing was the mushroom house. Do you want me to pull that up?
yeah. So, we had our company meeting, and by the way, our company meeting is live streamed every Thursday at 10 AM Central Standard Time. And so Holly, our Minnesota broker, so she's broker of Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Colorado. And so she was like, "Here's my Minnesota update." And then she showed it's called they call it the mushroom house, which by the way, Brian, I meant to say, did you know that I almost moved to Duluth, Minnesota in my childhood?
No.
So, my dad was building a house and everything on gosh, my brother will have to refresh my memory. I forget what the name of the lake was. We had a house being built on a lake and everything, but then he got divorced from his 3rd wife, and we didn't move there, so this is the mushroom house. Let's click through the pictures. So, Holly's just like, "This is hilarious," and I'm like, "This is honestly" okay, so she says that this fucking house is made of foam. I think it's made of asbestos because she said 50s and 60s. Look at that fucking garage. Are you serious?
Yeah, the floor plan's actually interesting. I don't wanna say good, but interesting.
I'm just gonna say interesting too. But this is ugly. You ugly. Yeah, yeah.
What I really don't like is there's no color. Like, do the roof black, do something to instead of just white.
Well, there's color there.
Yep.
An interesting color.
I I I don't hate the contrast between the
I do
purple and
like the
white, but
fireplace though.
yeah.
But look at what Brian, tell him what we noticed about that couch.
So, if I try to, like, lean back on that couch, I'm cracking my head on that wall, so I hope it is foam.
Yeah. 'Cause we were like, is it like a hard, like you knock on it type foam or is it softer foam? I don't know.
And then I also like that beehive-looking chandelier.
Sorry, guys, not into it. Can you imagine being the fucking inspector for this property?
Why is there a stalactite at the top of the
Yeah.
stairs? Like, I'm again, cracking my head on
It
shit
looks
all the
like that tonsil, like not tonsil, but that ball that swings in the back of my throat.
uvula.
Thank you. No, I don't like that word. It's gonna be a no from me, dog.
It was a good shot of the fireplace.
Yeah, I do like that fireplace, but again, it just seems like, are we sure, like, do we trust it to function properly?
And there's a good shot. I guess that is not an AI beehive lamp or whatever
And
chandelier.
what, pray tell, is the fire, like, hazard or retardant for the foam? Like, if a fire started in this house, is it gonna be am I gonna live or is it, like, going up like a Christmas tree?
Yeah, like, there's one of the entrances to the kitchen.
Oh my god, just no. Just and then we were talking about you can't mount a TV in there, like, because all the walls are curved and foam. Can you imagine, like, putting nails in it? It's like, phew. Oh, just Lord. And then in the bedroom, keep going till you get to the bedroom, because man, look at those
Hold
stairs.
on. Like, what is this? Is that a trash can? Is that, like,
Oh, no.
somewhere to set
Please,
drinks?
Lord, no. Were they just like I just I wonder how much it actually costs to build this.
It seems like there was no set floor plan, they just kind of, like, built whatever they felt like that day, and
Where's the cheapest place to like, okay, so that you can tell is that epoxy treatment on top of concrete.
yeah.
Look at wait, can you zoom in where that door is? Okay. Look at how shitty of a job they did with laying that epoxy, because you can see it splashed up right there on the doorway and everything. I'm, like, pointing at it,
Yeah,
like,
which door? The doorway to the kitchen,
so
the little
you see
cabinet,
that
or the door on the right?
yeah, the door to the right and the center right there,
Okay.
like, that goes into the bedroom. You see how it's splashed up right there on the door jamb. It's gonna be a no from me, dog. And those shelves and stuff, they just look really, like, cheapy 50s, they never
Like, and I could see having the thin like, single cabinet on top of the microwave and next to it open, but am I crazy that, like, cabinet doors should be on all cabinets?
I feel that way, but
Like, even if it's just, like, a frame with glass in it and you can see
I bet
inside?
you they can't put doors on those cabinets because 'cause they're all swirly and shit, like,
Yeah.
because of the
I
house.
mean, you could get curved wood doors that shut there, but
Sounds like it would take some
I also
budgeting.
wonder if there's a weight limit where it's like, yeah, if we put another 40 pounds worth of door on here, you can't put dishes in them because 'cause they'll just fall off the ceiling. Like, I would have so many durability questions.
That's why I'm saying I would just like to imagine opening that freezer door right there.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to do, like, a split door here in the center because you couldn't have just one big cabinet door because it wouldn't be able to swing open either way. It'd have to be 2 small doors.
And then really you're not gonna choose white appliances? You're gonna go all fucking black in that kitchen?
I also like the accordion closet door, like, that makes me feel like I'm at my grandma's house because she had those because her house was built in the '20s.
Can you imagine see how that normal house is next door? Imagine living oh, yeah, see, we're just one house past the mushroom house.
Yep,
And then do you see how, like, the dresser is built into
yeah.
the foam, the exterior wall?
Why is it only 3? Like, why can't we have 4 or 5 drawers? Like,
Yeah,
why does it end so low to the
and
ground?
those drawers do not look flush.
Nope. Why
Just no. And
why
see,
a red
that goes to show you that they can't fucking replace that counter, like, they're gonna rip out the foam and shit when they go to replace that sink. And I wonder how sanitary this all is, like, when we were talking about if the foam is hard or soft and, like, does it clean well? I mean, look at how old that outlet is
I was
down
gonna
by their
say, it looks like
radiator.
they modified the thing to, like, cut it at a diagonal at the top. Like, this looks like an entirely DIY'd house.
Is that a skylight?
It might be that or, like, really weird panels.
No, but no, in the other see, the
Oh,
shower room?
yeah, yeah.
Huh. Oh, no. No, not
So,
on the toilet.
yeah, the counter's not bad, but the sink is like, they tried to color match the sink to the
Did you
counter, and it just doesn't
notice
look
that
good.
Holly chose the best photos for this house?
I
She
mean,
didn't choose these. So she was so making a case to fucking move into this house, Brian.
also, I I I was trying to find a good opportunity to talk about it because I think it's interesting, like, the way nature works. Like, there's a lot of things in nature that are like, "This can't be a coincidence." And these, like, crystal doorknobs, I do not like touching. They feel weird and cheap, like, they never feel smooth or
'Cause
good.
they're, like, wiggly and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, like, brass brass is incredibly, like, antimicrobial.
Yeah.
Like, that's why they use it for doorknobs and bathrooms and stuff because it doesn't keep germs.
Yeah.
So it's like, a miracle metal. Weird shower head. I don't know, is that a filter behind the spout to
Uh,
get minerals or whatever out
and
of the water?
again, like, what happens if you get, like, mildew and stuff? What's the I mean, I'm pretty sure they didn't build in a fucking fan into this
Yeah, well, because
because
Holly was
back
saying they
then
need
they
to have a
really didn't, and
dehumidifier
they
for
would
mildew.
yeah, exactly.
This is probably one of the better rooms,
I was thinking the same thing, like, it seems like a really peaceful area,
but
but
how
there's
much of
that
that is
accordion door again.
yeah, but at
So is
least
that in from the bedroom,
it
maybe?
could be, but, like, that door at least has a wood appearance to it. It's not just, like, cheap looking white paint on an accordion
Yeah,
door. The the wall with, like, the wood planks looks nice. The shelves are mounted to the wall and look good, but I'm like, "Do those shelves exist or is that AI staging? Because the desk
'cause
and
yeah, a
monitor
lot of this was AI staging,
here's the basement. Bar's not bad.
but the
Another
ceiling's
fireplace.
gotta be fucking low.
Yeah. That's probably a 7 or 8-foot ceiling.
Yeah, you ain't getting me into no fucking 7-foot ceiling area,
I mean, this looks nice the way it's staged.
virtually.
Same, different bedroom.
Mhm.
This bathroom looks like it was from the '80s, possibly '70s, like,
70s for sure,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't wanna go through all 52 pictures here,
I'm
but
not into this anymore,
yeah.
Brian.
Let me find the floor plan one real quick. There.
Circle garage even? This looks like somebody fucking slapped a bicycle down on pavement and then drew it into a
No,
floor plan.
this was somebody set their coffee cup down a couple of times and it stained. And they're like, "Oh my god."
It's contingent. They have it a contingent sale. Oh my god. Wait. What's the square footage?
2444.
Okay. But the main floor is 1,344 square feet.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
My initial thought was like, this is gonna be a house where 98, 99% of people see it are instantly a no. And it's like, that's fine because there's gonna be somebody that they see this and they're like, "Yes, absolutely, I must have it." It's like, "Great, easy sale." Like,
explain your view on the polarizing content. Yeah.
yeah, well, because this is one of those things where you're never gonna have somebody that's in the middle that you waste time on, like, trying to sell this house to. They're not gonna be like, I could kinda" like, when you show somebody this house, it's gonna be an instant, absolutely not." "Okay, cool, moving to the next one." Or there's
Mhm.
gonna be somebody who is like, "Absolutely, only house is this weird. That's what I wanna see." And it's like, this is one where when you have, like, your normal suburb where houses have like the same 4 floor plans and it comes down to like how the rooms are painted, whether it's a carpet or hardwood or vinyl or tile or marble, where the countertops are, granite or composite or whatever, like, and you have to like nitpick over details. Those are the tough sales. This one, it's a yes or no right away. You're clear up front and it's a done deal one way or the other.
True that. All right. Well, that was it for today on my real estate show. If you want to ever check out our true crime and real estate podcast, definitely you can do that. It's filmed live every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central, and you can subscribe to it wherever you get your podcasts. These episodes are obviously filmed live. What's fun is you can watch live, you can chat. I'll read comments as I see them, especially if they make me LOL. But you really could change the trajectory of our show just by what you're commenting about or what you're sending in, asking us to talk about. And then if you missed today's episode, you can always catch it by 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Wherever you get your podcasts. If you found value in this, please share it with any other agents or anybody that you think would love it. And please also give us a review, help our show grow. Really appreciate that. All right, Brian, close us out. See you next time.